He told the alien woman, "You look beautiful today," and got an unexpected reaction. The cold, metallic walls of the ship hummed as I sat alone in the control room, waiting for the inevitable. My name is Riker, a mercenary, a drifter, a man used to facing death with a sneer. But this time was different. This time, I wasn't fighting a faceless enemy. This time, it was her, the alien assassin. I had heard the rumors. They spoke of her like she was a shadow, something barely human, sent by an unknown faction to eliminate threats. A cold, emotionless machine programmed to kill. They called her Unit V9, but no one truly knew who or what she was. She was simply death incarnate. Her appearance was rare, almost legendary, and now she was here to kill me. I wasn't entirely surprised. I had crossed enough lines in my life to earn enemies in every corner of the galaxy. But as I prepared for the inevitable confrontation, I found myself strangely calm. Perhaps it was because I had already accepted that my time was up. Suddenly, the door slid open with a hiss, and there she stood. She was everything the stories had described, tall, graceful, yet deadly. Her skin was a deep, obsidian black, speckled with stars, like the night sky itself. Her eyes glowed faintly, an unnatural shade of violet, and her expression was as emotionless as a glacier. The sleek, dark armor she wore shimmered with a strange metallic sheen, enhancing her ethereal, alien presence. Her footsteps echoed as she entered the room, silent as death itself. I could feel her gaze upon me, sharp, calculating. I didn't move, didn't flinch. I knew what she was here for. And then, without a word, she approached me. I braced myself. She would strike soon, I thought, but as she stood before me, her tall figure casting a long shadow, something strange happened. Instead of drawing a weapon, instead of killing me as I expected, she just stood there. There was an odd stillness in the air. For a moment, it felt like the world had paused. I couldn't help myself. I had to say something. I had to break the silence. "You look beautiful today," I said, my voice steady, though I knew how absurd it sounded. I wasn't expecting anything in return. It was just a random, foolish comment, a habit, perhaps. I was always one to speak my mind, even when it made no sense. Maybe I just wanted to see how she would react, to humanize this terrifying killer in front of me, even if just for a second. Her reaction was immediate, but not at all what I expected. She froze. Her violet eyes widened, and for a brief, fleeting moment, I saw something in them. Something unfamiliar. Something almost human. It was gone in an instant, replaced by the cold, emotionless mask she always wore. But that moment, that split second, unsettled me. "Why? Why did you say that?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper, though it carried a strange tremor. I blinked. "What? What do you mean?" "It's just a compliment." Her gaze shifted, scanning me, as if trying to make sense of what I had just said. It was as if the concept of a compliment was foreign to her. In a universe where I was a mere mercenary and she was a lethal assassin, I had never imagined she would even understand something as simple as kindness or affection. "You are programmed for destruction," I said, trying to make sense of the situation. "How could a compliment mean anything to you?" Her lips parted, and for the first time, I saw a flicker of emotion cross her face. Confusion. Maybe even curiosity. But just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished. "Careat satory campelet," she murmured, almost to herself. I leaned forward, not sure if I had heard her correctly. "What did you say?" Her eyes locked with mine, but this time they were not filled with cold precision. There was something else there, something almost vulnerable. "It is a phrase," she explained, her voice trembling. "In my language, it means beauty is a weapon." I stared at her. Beauty? A weapon? It didn't make sense. How could something as simple as a compliment throw her off so completely? Your people? I started, unsure of how to phrase the question. Were you made to understand beauty? To understand kindness? Her gaze softened. I was made to understand only war, only violence. Emotions are not part of me. But you, she stopped, as if she were carefully choosing her next words. Your words, your actions, they confuse me. I didn't know what to say. This was an assassin, trained to kill, programmed for nothing but violence. Yet somehow, my foolish comment had made her question everything. It was a strange feeling, a human feeling. Perhaps I had always believed that violence was a language of the galaxy, the only one that truly mattered, but now I wasn't so sure. You don't have to kill me, I said, my voice breaking the silence that had settled between us. I'm just a man like any other. I have no enemies who would miss me. Her gaze shifted again, but this time it wasn't cold. It was uncertain. I was programmed to kill, she said quietly, almost as if she were trying to convince herself. I don't know what you want from me, but I'm not sure I can do this. For a moment, there was a heavy silence. The tension in the room was palpable. We were two beings from opposite ends of existence, yet here we were, connected by a simple, stupid comment, a compliment. I could see it now. The assassin wasn't just a weapon. She was something more, something I hadn't expected. She had a past, a history that shaped her, just as I had mine. And as I stood there, waiting for her to make her decision, I realized something. In a universe filled with war, violence, and destruction, sometimes the smallest, simplest act of kindness could make all the difference. Finally, she spoke again, her voice barely above a whisper. Maybe there's more to this than I was programmed to understand. I could only nod. I wasn't sure what it all meant. But for the first time, I saw the assassin not as a monster, but as something more human,